New York Knicks president Phil Jackson left, and general manager Steve Mills answer questions during a news conference at the team's training facility, Friday, July 8, 2016, in Greenburgh, NY. AP photo, Julie Jacobson, AP. As the Knicks close out what may ultimately be the worst season in franchise history, they are trying to instill hope and faith into the fan base. In a letter to season ticket holders, Knicks president Steve Mills and general manager Scott Perry speak of an extremely bright future for the team and mention their financial flexibility to potentially sign up to 2 max free agents. The letter, which was obtained by Mark Berman of The Post and a screenshot was shared by a season ticket holder on Twitter, opens by calling the current season a difficult one from a win-loss perspective before painting a picture of the future. A letter from Perry and Mills to Through our trade of Kristaps Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee and Trey Burke to Dallas, we enhanced our organizational plan by acquiring a young dynamic player in Dennis Smith Jr., a veteran leader in DeAndre Jordan and 2 additional first-round picks. Mills and Perry state how the team has 7 first-round draft picks over the next 5 years plus a tremendous amount of financial flexibility which has put us in a position to potentially sign up to 2 max free agents. The Knicks have been closely linked to pending free agents Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving all season long, and as of Thursday, Rick Booker of Bleacher Report said that Durant to the Knicks is essentially done. The Knicks entered Friday's game against the Rockets with a 15-63 record, the worst in the NBA. They lose 3 out of their 4 final games. The 2019 season will go down as the worst in franchise history. Still, Mills and Perry closed the letter with their commitment to build a championship team. Most importantly, we will use our cap space diligently and only on players who believe in our plan and are committed to building the New York Knicks into the championship team that you deserve, they said. January 23, 2019, New York, USA. Houston Rockets guard James Harden, 13, goes to the basket against New York Knicks guard Emmanuel Mudiay, 1, and center Mitchell Robinson, 26, during the first half at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit, Noah K. Murray. USA Today Sports, Noah K. Murray. Over 2 months ago, the Houston Rockets needed all 61 of James Harden's points to eke past the New York Knicks. With 3 games remaining before the postseason, the Rockets hope they will not need that many points from Harden Friday night when they host the league-worst Knicks. The Rockets, 51-28, enter Friday in 3rd place in the Western Conference with 4 straight wins and 18 wins in their last 21 games since February 21. Houston is a 1.5 games behind 2nd place Denver, a half game up on 4th place Portland and 2.5 ahead of 5th place Utah. April 3, 2019, Orlando, Florida, USA. New York Knicks forward Mario Hezonja, 8, fist pumps after a 3-point basket against the Orlando Magic during the second half at Amway Center. Mandatory credit, Reinhold Mate. USA Today Sports, Reinhold Mate. It's Super Mario season in New York. After a career-best performance against the Magic on Wednesday night, Mario Hezonja will start at point guard for the Knicks on Friday against the Houston Rockets. The Knicks are without 4 point guards, Emmanuel Mudiay, Frank Ntilikina, Kadeem Allen and Dennis Smith Jr. because of injury, and Hezonja, typically a forward, will play the position for the first time since his rookie season with the Magic. Duke Blue Devils forward Zion Williamson reacts against the Virginia Tech Hokies in the semifinals of the East Regional of the 2019 NCAA Tournament at Capital One Arena. Jeff Burke, USA Today Sports. If the Knicks win the NBA draft lottery and land the No. 1 pick, chances are they'll draft Zion Williamson, who was named AP Men's Player of the Year on Friday. Williamson, the expected No. 1 pick in June's NBA draft, received 59 of 64 votes after averaging 22.6 points and 8.9 rebounds for Duke, which lost in the Elite Eight to Michigan State on Sunday. The 18-year-old Williamson, with his electrifying dunks, highlight reel blocks and overall presence on the court for the Blue Devils, has yet to officially declare for the draft. January 28, 2019, Indianapolis, Indiana. USA. Golden State Warriors forward Kevin Durant, 35, reacts by pounding on his chest after making a play against the Indiana Pacers during the first quarter at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Mandatory credit, Brian Spurlock. USA Today Sports. Brian Spurlock, Warriors star Kevin Durant can be a free agent after the season, and the idea that he could team up with fellow free agent Kyrie Irving on the Knicks this summer has picked up steam since the Kristaps Porzingis trade cleared 2 max slots for New York. Here are the latest rumors. April 4, 2:41 p.m., Durant's decision to sign with the Knicks as a free agent after the season is done, Rick Booker of Bleacher Report said on Wednesday. "From everything I've heard, it's done," Booker said during an appearance on The Herd. "Yes, he's leaving. If he so much as gets the Knicks into the conference finals, he will be beloved there like he never has been at Golden State after 2 championships." April 3, 2019, Orlando, Florida, USA. New York Knicks forward Mario Hezonja, 8, fist pumps after a 3-point basket against the Orlando Magic during the second half at Amway Center. Mandatory credit, Reinhold Mate. USA Today Sports. Reinhold Mate. The Knicks may have lost yet again, but Mario Hezonja walked off the Amway Center floor in Orlando on Wednesday night with his own personal win, facing the team that drafted him 5th overall in the 2015 NBA Draft. Hezonja came out of the tunnel with a vendetta and it resulted in a career-high 29 points on 11 for 22 from the field as well as 9 boards, 5 assists and 2 steals. Head coach David Fizdale said he told Hezonja to get ready to put on a show for his former fans, and he certainly answered the call over 33 to 56 minutes on the hardwood. April 3, 2019, Orlando, Florida, USA. Orlando Magic guard Evan Fournier, 10, shoots a 3-point shot over New York Knicks forward Mario Hezonja, 8, during the second half at Amway Center. Mandatory credit, Reinhold Mate. USA Today Sports. Reinhold Mate. The Knicks could have spoiled the Magic on Wednesday night, but they dropped the ball in a 114-100 loss in Orlando. Greater than box score. 5 things to know about Wednesday's game. 1. Playing against his former team, Mario Hezonja dropped a career-high 29 points on 11 for 22 shooting, and a perfect 6 for 6 from the charity stripe. He also had 9 rebounds and 5 assists over 33 minutes on the floor. February 26, 2019, New York, USA. New York Knicks guard Dennis Smith Jr. 5 dribbles the ball against Orlando Magic forward Wesley Iwundu, 25, during the second half at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit, Andy Marlin. USA Today Sports. Andy Marlin. The Orlando Magic, locked in a tight battle for an Eastern Conference playoff spot, won't get an easier opportunity in their final 4 games than the one they have at home against the New York Knicks on Wednesday night. The Knicks, 15-62, have the worst record in the NBA and are one of 3 teams headed to have the best lottery odds, 14%, of landing the top pick in the draft. But here's the catch. The Knicks beat Orlando in the team's most recent meeting, 108-103 on February 26 in New York. Greater than read more. Charles Oakley. Mandatory credit, Jeremy Brevard. USA Today Sports. Jeremy Brevard. Charles Oakley would certainly like to see James Dolan sell the Knicks, and he may have some inside information on a potential buyer. In a video with Bill Simmons and Jason Concepcion of The Ringer, Oakley said he has heard Amazon owner Jeff Bezos wants to buy the Knicks. He was trying to do Amazon HQ2 in Long Island, went to Virginia, right? So he still wants to do some real estate in New York. Why not buy the Garden? Oakley said. March 22, 2019, New York, USA. New York Knicks center Mitchell Robinson, 26, and Denver Nuggets power forward Mason Plumlee, 24, fight for a rebound during the fourth quarter at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner. USA Today Sports. Brad Penner, Knicks rookie. C. Mitchell Robinson celebrated his 21st birthday with some shots. No, not those shots. Instead, the neophyte was in the team's practice facility taking jumpers around midnight before he became legal for his first drink. He was preparing for his birthday game against the Bulls at the Garden, where he posted a double-double with 14 points and 10 rebounds. July 8, 2018, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. New York Knicks guard Billy Garrett, 17, dribbles during the first half against the Utah Jazz at Cox Pavilion. Mandatory credit, Stephen R. Silvani. USA Today Sports. Stephen R. Silvani, the most prolific scorer in Knicks G League history, is getting his chance in the NBA. The Knicks signed Billy Garrett, who is the Westchester Knicks all-time leading scorer, to a 10-day contract Tuesday to finish out the regular season. The 6'6" wingman has played 98 games across the last 2 seasons with Westchester, where he's averaged 14.2 points, 3.1 assists and 2.9 rebounds per game. The DePaul product went undrafted in 2017 and was named Big East Freshman of the Year 3 years prior to that. Reaction to Knicks 113-105 win. 0 hours 1 minute and 30 seconds. David Fizdale was happy with the progress shown by his young team in a 113-105 win over the Bulls. Mitchell Robinson continues to shine. It turns out Knicks wins aren't as rare as seeing Halley's Comet. They managed to defeat the Bulls on Monday night, 113-105. Greater than box score. 5 things to know about Monday's game. 1. Another game. Another impressive stat line from Mitchell Robinson. On his 21st birthday, Robinson had 14 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists and 3 blocks. Robinson has blocked at least 2 shots in 25 consecutive games, tying him with David Robinson for the second longest such streak by a rookie in NBA history. New York Knicks shooting guard Alonzo Trier controls the ball against Chicago Bulls small forward Justin Holiday during the first quarter at Madison Square Garden. Brad Penner, USA Today Sports. Walt Lemon Jr. still is trying to wrap his mind around his debut with the Chicago Bulls. Lemon Jr., who grew up on Chicago's South Side and starred at Bradley, made an immediate impact Saturday in his first game with his hometown team. He had 19 points, 6 assists and 4 steals in 31 minutes on the floor. Now, the 26-year-old will get ready for Game No. 2. When the Bulls visit the New York Knicks on Monday night. Lemon Jr. spent several years playing overseas and in the G League before a 5-game stint with the New Orleans Pelicans last season, followed by his promotion to the Bulls this month. Michigan State shocked the NCAA tournament on Sunday when they took down number 1 seeded Duke to move on to the Final Four. With that, Zion Williamson, the projected No. 1 overall pick, is likely to have played his last game for the Blue Devils as he will prepare for the NBA draft. So, with Williamson, R.J. Barrett, and Ja Morant all out of the tournament, who should Knicks fans look forward to seeing in the Final Four? Look no further than Texas Tech's Jarrett Culver. The 6'5" sophomore guard has been the focal point of this Red Raiders team all season long, and many have him as a top 5 talent. He is only solidifying that fact in the tournament, where he is averaging 21.5 points, 6.8 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 2.3 steals, and 1.3 blocks over his 4 games. Culver is also shooting just shy of 42% from the field. March 21, 2019, Sacramento, California, USA. Dallas Mavericks forward Kristaps Porzingis, 6, sits on the bench during the fourth quarter against the Sacramento Kings at Golden One Center. Mandatory credit, Sergio Estrada. USA Today Sports. Sergio Estrada. New details have emerged in the alleged Kristaps Porzingis sexual assault case, which include the woman making the claims reaching out to the Knicks to mediate the $68,000 payment Porzingis had promised her, per ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. The new information comes from emails obtained by ESPN between the accuser and the Knicks legal department, as well as text messages between her and Porzingis. The emails show the 29-year-old woman communicated with the Knicks in late October through early November, 8 months after the alleged assault and prior to any criminal complaint filed with New York police. Duke Blue Devils forward Zion Williamson reacts after losing to the Michigan State Spartans in the championship game of the East Regional of the 2019 NCAA Tournament at Capital One Arena. Amber Searles, USA Today Sports, Washington, D.C. Zion Williamson's college career came to an end here in the Elite Eight against Michigan State on Sunday night. And the next game he plays will be for an NBA team. Duke Blue Devils forward Zion Williamson dunks the ball against in the championship game of the East Regional of the 2019 NCAA Tournament at Capital One Arena. Jeff Burke, USA Today Sports, Zion Williamson may have played his last game with Duke. The freshman phenom and potential no. 1 pick in June's NBA draft had his season end with a 68-67 loss to 2-seed Michigan State on Sunday in the Elite Eight. The 6'7", 285-pound Williamson, who averaged 22.6 points and 8.7 rebounds with the Blue Devils, scored 24 points and brought down 14 rebounds. However, the ball wasn't in his hands late. February 22, 2019, New York, USA. Minnesota Timberwolves forward Anthony Tolliver, 43, has his shot blocked by New York Knicks center Mitchell Robinson, 26, during the first half at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit, Andy Marlin, USA Today Sports, Andy Marlin. In the first half of the Knicks' 100-92 loss to the Miami Heat Saturday night, Goran Dragic found himself open for three in the corner. Mitchell Robinson, the 20-year-old second-round pick, closed out on the shifty guard, dissuading the shot while being in position to guard the ensuing ISO. Dragic tried to speed by Robinson, then faked him out, but the neophyte was steady, and smothered Dragic on his first attempt. On the night, he finished with 9 points, 14 rebounds, 4 blocks and 3 steals. This type of stat line and defensive performance has become ordinary for Robinson since the All-Star break, providing a silver lining to an otherwise bleak season. 62 losses and counting, owner-fan feuds and a mid-season deal shipping away your best prospect, who is reportedly under NYPD investigation for a rape accusation. But Knicks fans can rejoice over one takeaway: Robinson is a building block for this franchise's future. March 30, 2019, New York, USA. Miami Heat guard Dwayne Wade 3 goes to the basket against New York Knicks guard Emmanuel Mudiay 1 during the first half at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit, Noah K. Murray, USA Today Sports, Noah K. Murray. The Knicks gave the Heat a good battle, but Miami came out with a 100-92 victory in Dwayne Wade's final game at the Garden on Saturday night. Greater than box score. 5 things to know about Saturday's game. 1. Coming off the bench, Wade dropped 16 points on 6 for 16 from the field. He also had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal on the night. October 19, 2018, Brooklyn, NY, USA. New York Knicks forward Kristaps Porzingis looks on during a second-half timeout against the Brooklyn Nets at Barclays Center. Mandatory credit, Noah K. Murray, USA Today Sports, Noah K. Murray. The NYPD is reportedly investigating a claim by a woman who says former Knicks star Kristaps Porzingis raped her merely hours after he suffered his torn ACL against the Bucks back on February 7, 2018. The allegations, which cops say are credible, according to the Post, detail Porzingis inviting the woman back to his luxury apartment at the Sky Building in Midtown West Manhattan, which she agreed to. When they entered the apartment, the woman claims Porzingis held her down and raped her. It was discussed that Porzingis was going to offer $68,000 to pay for the woman's brother's college tuition to keep her quiet. However, that fell through. The woman admitted that she kept quiet this long because of the money Porzingis had promised. January 27, 2019, New York, USA. Miami Heat guard Dwayne Wade 3 controls the ball against New York Knicks forward Mario Hezonja 8 during the fourth quarter at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner. USA Today Sports. Brad Penner, the Miami Heat, whose comeback win on Thursday landed them in playoff position, for the moment at least, hit the road on Saturday to play the New York Knicks, who have the worst record in the NBA at 14-61. The Knicks are playing out the string this season as they dream of a summer bonanza in which they could potentially draft the difference-makers such as Zion Williamson, Ja Morant or RJ Barrett, and sign free agents such as Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving or Kemba Walker. Meanwhile, with less than 2 weeks remaining in the regular season, there are 5 teams closely bunched in the Eastern Conference playoff race: the Detroit Pistons, Brooklyn Nets, Orlando Magic, Charlotte Hornets and the Heat. January 27, 2019, New York, USA, Miami Heat guard Dwayne Wade III reacts to fans chanting, "Let's go Heat," during the fourth quarter against the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner. USA Today Sports. Brad Penner, Dwayne Wade wants nothing but the best for his friend and former coach David Fizdale, which is why the retiring Miami Heat guard will be rooting for the Knicks in free agency this summer. Wade, who will play his final game at Madison Square Garden on Saturday, has faith Fizdale can take the Knicks in the right direction and hopes the head coach can lure the top free agents to New York this summer. "We'll see," Wade said at Saturday's shoot-around. It's his second head coaching job but first time in a role like this in New York. "You hope so. I'm a big fan of his, he's a good friend of mine. I hope so." March 29, 2019, Washington, D.C., USA, Duke Blue Devils forward Zion Williamson, 1, dunks the ball against Virginia Tech Hokies guard Ahmed Hill, 13, during the second half in the semifinals of the East Regional of the 2019 NCAA Tournament at Capital One Arena. Mandatory credit, Amber Searles. USA Today Sports. Amber Searles, Zion Williamson was electric again. The likely no. 1 pick in the NBA draft and potential future Knick continues to thrive in the Big Dance, leading Duke to a 75-73 Sweet 16 victory Friday night over Virginia Tech. Duke will play Michigan State on Sunday in the East Regional Final. Williamson scored 23 points on 11 for 14 shooting, adding 6 rebounds and 3 blocks. One of those blocks came with 5:27 left after he was beat one-on-one but closed down as the basket anyway, keeping Duke ahead by 5. But Williamson's most noteworthy play of the night came in the form of a thunderous two-handed alley-oop jam off a fast break midway through the second half to give Duke a 6-point lead. April 12, 2016, Auburn Hills, MI, USA, Miami Heat guard Dwayne Wade III talks to assistant head coach David Fizdale during the third quarter against the Detroit Pistons at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Heat win 99-93. Mandatory credit, Raj Mehta. USA Today Sports. Raj Mehta, Dwayne Wade's One Last Dance is coming to New York, and Knicks head coach David Fizdale couldn't be more honored to be a part of his final game at Madison Square Garden. Fizdale and Wade were extremely close during the former's time in Miami as an assistant coach. They won an NBA title together, and when Fizdale took the job with the Knicks, Wade had nothing but praise for one of his good friends in the league. That doesn't mean Fizdale doesn't want to hand Wade and the Heat a loss on Saturday night. Robinson's bright NBA future 0 hours 0 minutes and 54 seconds. New York Knicks center Mitchell Robinson has vastly improved during his first season in the NBA, but what could be his ceiling? Knicks center Mitchell Robinson has shown a lot of promise during his rookie season, but just how good of an NBA player can the second round become? The crew on SNY's new show The Thread examined the 20-year-old's potential. Ntilikina, Fizdale on injury 0 hours 0 minutes and 56 seconds. New York Knicks Frank Ntilikina is out the rest of the season after aggravating a groin injury. Has he played his last game as a Knick? The Knicks will shut down Frank Ntilikina for the rest of the season after he re-aggravated his groin injury last Sunday, the team announced. Ntilikina, the second-year guard out of France, returned from a 24-game absence on Sunday against the Los Angeles Clippers, but left the game after suffering a setback. A few more tests showed the Knicks that he should be shut down. "I re-aggravated progressively again," Ntilikina told the media at practice Friday. "I kinda felt something before the game and this is how it happened. So after the game it was pretty sore too. Made a couple of more tests and the medical staff, which is trying to do the best for me and my health, recommended I take it easy. New York Knicks head coach David Fizdale talks to guards Damian Dotson and Emmanuel Mudiay during the second half against the Toronto Raptors at Madison Square Garden. Noah K. Murray, USA Today Sports. The Knicks' blockbuster trade of Kristaps Porzingis cleared the franchise enough salary cap space to pursue two max free agents this summer. Presumably, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are going to be two targets. But with the roster head coach David Fizdale has now, he's trying to work on his players' versatility, because the Knicks could soon have an abundance of players at one position. That I'm trying to do with all of them is make them, to a certain extent, positionless, Fizdale said, according to the New York Post's Mark Berman. Where it doesn't matter who they're out there with, that their skill set applies to whatever position they're playing. That's kind of how we're looking at it going forward. Knicks blown out by Raptors. 0 hours 0 minutes and 34 seconds. New York Knicks have lost 13 out of last 14 games, and head coach David Fizdale saw no fight in his team in their recent loss to the Raptors. The Knicks lost for the 13th time in their last 14 games Thursday night as they fell to the Raptors, 117-92. Greater than box score. 5 things to know about Thursday's Game 1. Rookie Mitchell Robinson had a huge night. He earned his 9th double-double of the season by putting up career highs with 19 points and 21 rebounds, the most rebounds by a Knicks rookie since Willis Reed in 1965. He also added 2 blocks. 2. Dennis Smith Jr. returned after missing 6 games with a back injury and looked rusty, scoring 7 points on 2 for 11 shooting in 20 minutes off the bench. February 3, 2019, New York, USA. New York Knicks guard Dennis Smith Jr. 5 controls the ball against the Memphis Grizzlies during the third quarter at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit. Brad Penner, USA Today Sports. Brad Penner, Knicks coach David Fizdale would like to be able to choose from a deep roster, but injuries are piling up. Point guard Dennis Smith Jr. has missed the last 6 games with a sore back. Rookie guard Alonzo Trier has missed the last 3 games with a strained calf, and forward Noah Vonleh has missed the last 5 games with a sprained right ankle. Smith, Trier, and Vonleh may be out again Thursday, and the trio could be joined on the sidelines by rookie forward Kevin Knox. Knox sprained his right ankle with 32 seconds left in the first half of a 124-113 loss to the Los Angeles Clippers on Sunday. Knox was injured when his foot collided with Los Angeles guard Patrick Beverley's on a 3-point attempt. Los Angeles Clippers forward Danilo Gallinari guards New York Knicks guard Dennis Smith Jr. under the basket in the first half of the game at Staples Center. Jane Kamienwansa, USA Today Sports. Knicks guard Dennis Smith Jr. said he hopes to return this season from a back injury that has forced him to miss New York's last 6 games. "I just want to get back out there and play," Smith said, according to the New York Post's Mark Berman. "That's all I'm really worried about right now, getting back out there hooping." Smith, who hasn't played since March 12, participated in some of Wednesday's practice, and is considered questionable for Thursday's game against the Toronto Raptors. He said after an MRI that it looked like 2 discs were out of place in his back. March 10, 2019, Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. New York Knicks head coach David Fizdale looks on during the second half against the Minnesota Timberwolves at Target Center. Mandatory credit. Jesse Johnson, USA Today Sports. Jesse Johnson. When the Knicks hired David Fizdale to be